What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have this math question which says find the values of x and y for which x plus y is equal to 4 and xy is equal to 6. Now, we're going to be calling this equation 1 and we call this equation 2. Now, we start with equation 1. So we say from equation 1, I'm going to be making y the subject by moving x to the right hand side. So I'll have y to be equal to 4. As x crosses to the right, it becomes minus x. So since I have equation 1, equation 2, I can call this equation 3. Now I'm going to be putting equation 3 in equation 2. That means wherever I see y, I'm going to be substituting 4 minus x here. So we have x, so this is x times y. Instead of y, I write 4 minus x, so times 4 minus x, and this is equal to 6, equal to 6. Very good. Now our next step will be for us to open up the bracket. So x times 4 is 4x minus x times x is x squared. And this is equal to 6. Now let's move everything on the left to the right hand side. So we have, when I move negative x squared to the right hand side, it becomes positive. And when I move 4x to the right hand side, it becomes negative 4x. So I've already got plus 6 here, so plus 6. And remember, 0 remains on the left hand side. Well, this expression is same as x squared minus 4x plus 6 equal to 0. So we have a quadratic equation. Now notice that this quadratic equation cannot be factorized. And any quadratic equation where the coefficient of x squared is 1 and the coefficient of x is an even number, it is best we apply the completing the square because it is far more easier than the quadratic formula. So how do we apply completing the square? We have to move 6 to the right hand side. So we have x squared minus 4x on the left equal to, as 6 crosses to the right, it becomes negative 6. Now we're going to be taking the coefficient of x, which is negative 4. We divide it by 2 and we square the results. So this will result to negative 4 divided by 2 gives negative 2, and this is squared. So in order to make the left hand side a perfect square, we have to add this to both sides of the equation. So on the left, we have x squared minus 4x. To make a perfect square, we add negative 2 squared. This is equal to, we have negative 6 plus negative 2 squared. Very good. Now this is a perfect square of x minus 2. So x minus 2 squared. Very good. And this is equal to, now this is negative 6. Now negative 2 squared gives plus 4. Very good. So this becomes x minus 2 all squared to be equal to negative 6 plus 4 is negative 2. Now let's take the square root of both sides. So I'll take the square root of the left, which is x minus 2 all squared. I'll also take the square root of the right, but I'll be putting plus or minus the square root of negative 2. Now notice Now this square root will cancel out the square, leaving behind x minus 2 on the left to be equal to plus or minus the square root of negative 2 is same as 2 times negative 1. So this is x minus 2 equal to plus or minus. This can be expressed as the square root of 2 times the square root of negative 1. So making x minus 2 to be equal to plus or minus, this is the square root of 2 times the square root of negative 1 is I, which is iota. Very good. So now let's move negative 2 to the right hand side. So we have x to be equal to, as negative 2 crosses to the right, it becomes positive. So we have plus or minus the square root of 2i. Very good. So there are actually two values of x here. The first value, x, 2, we'll go with a positive, plus root 2i. And the second value is 2. This time go with the negative, minus root 2i. Very good. Now, in order to get the value for y, we recall, remember the substitution we made, which is from equation 3. Equation 3 is where we have y to be equal to 4 minus x, right? So this is our equation 3. So we're going to be substituting the values of x here to get the corresponding value for y. So let's start with the first one. When x is equal to 2 plus root 2i. So we're going to be substituting here. So y, which is the first value of y, now becomes 4 minus x. And what is x? X is 2 plus the square root of 2i. So this simplifies into 4. Let's use this negative to open up the brackets. So we have minus 2. Negative times positive is negative, root 2i. And this results to 4 minus 2 is 2, minus root 2i. So that's our corresponding value for y. Now this time around, when x is equal to the second value, 2 minus root 2i, what is going to be our y? Our corresponding value for y will be 4 minus x. What is our x? Our x is 2 minus root 2i. Let's open up the bracket using this negative outside. So y would then be 4 minus 2. Then minus times minus is plus. That's plus root 2i. Very good. So this simplifies into 4 minus 2. That's 2 plus root 2i. Very good. So our values for x and y are, when x is 2 plus root 2i, the corresponding for y, value for y is 2 minus root 2i. And when x is 2 minus root 2i, the corresponding value for y is 2 plus root 2i. Very good. And these are our final solutions. Well, feel free to share your ideas in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and have learned something from this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my upcoming videos. And like I always say, until next time, take care.